ago we were here. This place was wonderful, but you can see in 5 months how it has changed. You see the trees are falling, everything is falling. Then you can imagine how about 3 centuries ago, if in 5 months, you can just see what has happened. In 5 months, we were here 5 months ago. In January, you saw the 5 months ago, this place was clean. We had a population of over 300 personalities here with chairs and everything. But 5 months after, you see where we are. And if the council didn't try to do this, we wouldn't have even seen anything. All of these vestiges are lost in the forest. They are lost in the forest because no funding to keep this place up to date. So this area here, you see, this was like the workshop where they had all their food and whatever they were doing. And here, this is where they tied the slaves. This is where the slaves were tied. We'll go down again. I will show you where the slave master was living. The English slave master. This can.
And giving me the honor and the responsibility of bringing some of our sisters and brothers from the diaspora back to share this experience, this incredible experience that I've had with some of you that are here today. Because of time and because they're waiting for us, we would like to say thank you to our brother Mema Meambo, to the Limbe City Council, Limbe 3, yes, Limbe 3 City Council, to the chief that was here, and to everybody else who made this possible, and to Ms. Angela Kwan, who worked very hard on this, but for reasons we all know could not be with us today. Just briefly, to answer some questions that some of the diasporan members had. This began as a research for the first African Reconnection program that was sponsored by a Cameroonian group. I was the researcher for the group. Asked about slave trade sites in Cameroon, they said that they didn't know of any. With the assistance of 7 undergraduate students at Arizona State University who worked diligently with me day and night from the announcement of the program in September to December 26, when the trip began, we were able to locate 135 slave ships that left the Cameroon territory. That is not the total, but that is what we had come up with at the time from the documents there. Just before we left the U.S., we located 2 other of the slave ships, the 137 so far. We've got the national origin. The English were the main slave traders that we've been able to identify so far, but the Portuguese and the Spanish and others, including the U.S., was involved as well. These are government documents, but there are also other private documents that exist, and there are also archives in other countries and other languages. So I'm staying on until August to continue the work. And the students, one is here, my daughter, Ndome Kari, and we continue to work on this. So far, what we've been able to locate, most of the slave ships left from Vuri in Douala as the river. We've seen videos, and we've seen a letter from him as well. So far, we know that 13 of what we have located and identified left from Bimbia, left from this place. This is only one of the remnants, but as we go deeper inside, there are countless of these slave forts that remain. But as my brother said, we need to continue the research, and also we need to have more resources to advance the research as well as access to the site and to the building. And Limbe 3 City Council is working diligently on this, and we have a meeting tomorrow where we'll work on this as well. With the research, I don't want to go on for too long, but we have been able to identify names of over 2,000 that were enslaved and brought to the various sites. So now we're working on the names, getting to know who was taken, giving an identity, a face. And I would be happy to share more of that information as we proceed. The walk for us is very tough, but if you can imagine, people walked from the deep interior of this country. People were dragged from the deep interior of this country and were in these slave forts. Some of the documents tell us that in some places there was never less than 10,000 enslaved Africans at a time. That was the human cargo. They called us black ivory. Black ivory. So I'm really grateful. I'm really thankful to God, to the ancestors, to the God energy in all of us that allows us to be here again today and to say that we have come home.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor. The assembly here today is that from the first day that I got connected to our sisters and brothers from the diaspora, I've all along dedicated my life, my time, and thank God I've gone on retirement, so I have all the time. I have all the time. And she's been doing a great job from the first day I met her in December 2010. 2010. I brought the first group here, the very first group here.
Yes.
They had left her behind. I brought her all alone here. From that day we connected.
Yes.
And from then we've been in touch all along.
Yes. And they are the eyes on the ground.
Yes.
This is not one person or one person and research team. They are dedicated people like our brother here who continues to work, and the Limbe City Council as well. Limbe 3 City Council.
So what I keep telling, it's not easy because you come and see the vestiges of the past.
Yes.
It's not easy. I was just telling you, we were here 5 months ago, and you can imagine what has transpired within 5 months. Just 5 months, this place is all covered again. Then you can imagine what transpired more than 4 or 5 centuries. So my worry, me personally, my worry is for us to see how we can restore this place for posterity. How we can restore this place.
It shall be.
The council is a very small, young council, just 5 years old. They can't do anything. Most Cameroonians didn't even know about this place. They are discovering it now because of all the research that has been done. With us who knew it from birth, I think we are willing to support whatever effort is put in for us to have this place preserved so that when we are gone, our children and children, for posterity, will always come back here and say, this is where we belong. Because if we start telling you the history of it, the English, she's done a lot of research. You go back and read it. And she knows very well that most of our brothers and sisters are not even in the United States of America. Most of them are in Brazil, where you have the biggest African community.
Yeah, if I can just say, of the 137 ships we've identified, and I won't go through all the data, but at another time we can do it, 26 of those slave ships went to Grenada. And Imani, in her presentation last night, showed the ancestor circle underwater in Grenada. And because the yearwoods are from Barbados, I made a point, and I'd like to say 14 of those slave ships went to Barbados. And I truly believe that most people from Grenada are Cameroonians. So we're hoping as we continue with the research and with the DNA connections, we'll be able to establish with even more scientific basis whether or not that is the case. And I would be remiss if I didn't say Dr. Rick Kittles, who developed the DNA technology that allows us to trace roots, was also here on this last trip. That our brother here, Miambo, was the MC for this program, and Cameroon with us. We discussed the purification ceremony that took place, the second African Reconnection program, and we have video, and many of you were here filming at the event, and I would like to share with those that have not had the opportunity to watch. And Africa-Diaspora also has a lot of the films, many of them done by Ruth Esange, who is with us today. Ruth?
So please, because of time constraints, we just have to continue down. So that
The slave horse behind. So maybe we'll do it. And it can also be like a shotgun house. You know, shotgun houses built in the U.S. were built that way so people could not escape. Anywhere you move, there's a shotgun.